Welcome everybody to another episode of Jetlag and Chill. I have a friend of mine from back in Phoenix, and this is a story that I want to tell. I called him, said, I got to interview you because I was after him forever to travel. And he was just like, nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. And then he finally went. And this man is a different man. So I was like, let me put him on. And I think it'll be great for people that, if you got a little anxiety about getting out on your first trip, this man did not just go on like a Mexico first trip, okay? He went to the top. When I saw his posts, I was like, oh my goodness, man, like you went all the way. So if you don't mind, introduce yourself, tell everybody a little bit about you and what you do, and then we'll get into the questions.
Gotcha. So hello everyone. My name is Phalen Booker. I'm from Mississippi, but I moved out to Arizona about 5 years ago. I'm a former financial advisor. I'm now a full-time day trader, full-time artist, and I live out here in Arizona, and I finally had the opportunity to leave the country and go experience the rest of the world. And so, after T Brown has hammered me about leaving the country and going to experience it, I finally had a chance to, and wow, it was amazing.
Okay, so we're going to do a segment called Before the Boarding Pass, okay?
Okay.
So what made you finally pull the trigger and book the international trip?
What made me pull the trigger, one, was like, hey, you got to leave the country. Figure out somewhere you want to go. Dude, it's not as stressful as you think it is. It's cheap. The biggest thing is just getting the flight over there, making sure your passport is up to date. Once you get there, you'll figure everything out. That was one. And then I had a friend who was going to South Africa for a wedding, and she was like, "Hey, I want you to come with me. What will it take for you to pull the trigger and go, to a different country?" And I was just like, "I don't know." And I came up with something outlandish. I was like, "Can I hunt?" And she was like, "Yeah, I can make that happen." And
And you did.
and when she said that, she was like, "This is how much it's going to cost. This is what we can do. This is the accommodations, yada yada yada." And after that, it was just a matter of putting up the money for it.
Okay.
And after that, packing. You had like a month in advance to pack, get everything situated, and then from there, it was just getting to the airport and making sure that you had enough to drink and enough to eat, just so you can just fall asleep for the rest of the trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can already tell
Yeah.
this is going to be interesting. So, ladies and gentlemen, jetlandchill.org is our newsletter. It's where this will be posted, as well as anything else that comes every week. We make a release on Thursday, and it is free. So, definitely go to jetlandchill.org and sign up for our newsletter. Now, the next question is, had you always wanted to travel, or did this come out of nowhere after we just started harassing you about traveling?
No, so the funny thing is, I've always wanted to travel. I've just been scared to do it. And the main thing is that it would have been my first time. So going somewhere alone
Yeah.
really gave me bad anxiety. Going to
Okay.
a different country, a different continent.
You
Where they
definitely
speak a
did
different
too.
language. Yeah, yeah, they speak a different language. Don't speak English as well. And
Sure.
it's like that fear kind of stops you from making some progress. And so, the main thing was just I was just scared to do it. And like I'd like to pride myself on not being scared of much,
Yeah.
but going to a different country where there's a different people, different cultures, that is frightening to me, especially if I don't have someone else to go there with me to experience it. Now that I've done it,
Yeah.
I feel like I can take on the world and go anywhere
Yeah.
and just,
Especially where you went.
have my wits about it. And so
So,
I do. I like,
ladies and
yeah.
gentlemen, to help you understand what the ones that are just listening, the man sitting in front of me, my friend, is an MMA fighter badass. Okay. Scared of nothing except for traveling. And so this is an accomplishment that we got him to go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now,
This is like the funny thing is it's been like like at least a year and a half of you just calling me like, hey, and spending. I remember we hadn't spoken like I don't know 2 or 3 years since you had moved to Albania or just been traveling the world for the last 3 years,
yeah.
and you called me out of the blue. And I remember I was in Olympic Valley, California, and it was snowing. And you called me, and we hadn't spoken like 2 or 3 years, and we were on the phone for 3 hours about your experiences overseas, and I'm just like, all right. I was like, okay, I gotta do it. I gotta do it.
Yeah.
And then, then it'll die off, and I'll get scared again. And then you'll call randomly, like, "Hey, what you doing? When you coming out?" And I'm just like,
I
"Golly!"
am a
And then
rat.
that constant, like, "Hey, you got to do it. You got to try this. You got to do this first." And I'm
Yeah.
just like, "Okay, all right."
And
And
you're
then
like, he's
finally, the
not giving
opportunity
up. And you're
arose, and
like,
I
he's
was,
not giving up
yeah.
either. So he must really mean
And I
it.
was like, "Yeah, it's gonna happen."
Okay, so what were the reactions from the people when you told them that you were going abroad for the first time?
They were like, their reaction. You know what's funny? I didn't tell a lot of people.
Yeah,
I just told those closest to me. They were like, "Yo, man, have fun."
yeah, yeah, good.
Like a lot of them, like this is a once in a lifetime opportunity because a lot of people don't get to do it. Um, which I want to talk about that, in a minute because it's just
Okay.
like, um, it's weird when people say it's a once in a lifetime type of thing, but when you go overseas, you realize how inexpensive everything
Yep,
is, and I'm like, why doesn't everybody do it?
yep, yep.
But when the reaction was like, "Yo, have fun, take pictures, and make sure you come back." And so
You probably got a crazy
that was pretty
reactions
much it.
when you posted. You
Yeah,
probably got crazy reactions.
yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
"What?"
The crazy reactions were when I got back, and they were like, "I didn't know you went to Africa to do that," and I
Yeah.
was like, "Well,
Even I didn't know. You told me you were doing a safari, but I didn't know you were doing
yeah,
that safari.
yeah."
Okay, so what about this? Did you have any irrational fears leading up to the trip? Like, will I be kidnapped? Or what will I do if I don't have Wi Fi? Something just retarded.
I think one of the main fears was how would I be received in a different country? Not speaking the language, not understanding, their particular rules.
Mm,
And so I wanted to make sure I didn't offend them in any way.
yeah, true.
I wanted to make sure that I was polite and still,
True.
was a part of it to where
Plus, they
I
have
didn't
different
have any
laws.
issues.
Plus, they have different laws. Yeah.
Yeah, that too. It's like even like something as simple as driving on the other side of the street was weird to me. So I'm just like, it's like little things where I'm trying to make sure that I'm just being polite because
Yeah.
everywhere in the world they look at Americans as, you
Gangsters.
know, yeah, it's like
I
they
know.
look at us like, dog, y'all have no manners, y'all are not polite, y'all shoot everything, and I'm just like,
Yes.
it's
So,
it's like y'all have stupid confidence, and I'm like,
yo,
ah,
I gotta elaborate on that here. I am in literal mafia country, and they
yeah.
think that I am more gangster than them. They're like, you guys walk around with guns on your hips. And I was like,
I
yeah,
mean,
we do in Phoenix,
yeah, we
actually.
do, but
And then I was like, my little bro's got a Glock under his feet. And they're like, you just say it so casually. And then they're like, if they offend you, you just shoot them in the street. And I was like, oh, we actually do.
yeah,
We actually do.
yeah,
I didn't know that they were like, now I kind of see why they look at us the way they look at us because we are
yeah,
aggressive, just like our military.
yeah,
We are aggressive.
yeah,
And we think it's
yeah,
nothing until you hear it from someone
yeah,
else,
for sure.
which is
And
crazy.
and then and then they hear you talk, and they're like, "Oh, you must be American." I'm just like, "Oh gosh," I was like,
No, they're
"Yeah."
so interested. Yeah, they're so interested.
Yeah, and then they're like, then they'll just start asking, like, then they'll kind of treat you a little differently. You can see the shift, and it's like, okay, but
They don't want to
I
mess with
think
you, and they know you got some money.
that's the main one.
Yeah,
Like once they kind of like compete that you have like a little bit of money, they're like, yeah, we can
we
talk
could
him,
do anything.
out of yeah. But then I think other things that kind of just shocked me or just that was just weird to me was like I don't know if this is common in every other country,
Hmm.
but there was a lot of load shedding,
Load shedding.
where the power in the entire city would just go out,
Oh
like for
no,
expen yeah. Maybe it was just that area, but then you know, this is my first trip, so this is like my frame of reference
sure,
for
sure. And we come from everything in America.
yeah. It's like this is my frame of reference for what the rest of the world is like because I'm like in America, everything is as far as infrastructure is great, and so when you go somewhere where it's like, oh, this is not something we have to deal with, so this is not. I don't want to say primitive to be rude, but it's like
It's just not as developed.
yeah, bingo. And so you know, you're going down streets where there are no light posts, so it's literally pitch black.
Yeah,
And
that's true. Actually,
I thought I thought Africa. I thought Mississippi was like the darkest it could ever get in the place.
No.
Boy, was I wrong.
Hold
African dark.
on. You
Africa,
got a story. Now you got me remember it. So, and
Africa at night.
yeah. So here
That's
in
scary.
Albania, this is considered like a second world country, right? And so I
Yeah.
had a buddy in town, and I live like a bachelor. I don't see the point in buying all these pots and pans and plates. I have enough for like me, right?
Mhm.
And he was a pasta guy, so we bought all this pasta, and I had realized I didn't have a big pasta pot, and I didn't want to buy a big pasta pot for like one meal. So
Right.
I did a little Afro engineering, and I took my kettle. You know the kettle?
Mhm.
I put the pasta in the
Mhm.
kettle, the electric kettle, and it is
Oh,
genius actually because you could
yeah.
just pour it out. But I put like the chicken in the air fryer, and then I was
Mhm.
warming the sauce on the stove. But I had the AC on and the TV and the lights, and it was too much. And all of a sudden the house was like, boo. So
Oh my gosh.
we had to cook the meal in the dark. We couldn't turn the TV on, and we had to turn off the
Mhm.
AC. And for us coming from America, you can't do anything but laugh. I was like, "This is
Yeah.
crazy! Like this is crazy."
Yeah. Well.
It actually made it for like a fun trip. Okay, so
Mhm.
on a scale from 1 to what's duty free, how prepared were you? Do you know what duty free is?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
I had to, I learned about duty free like the very last day of the trip flying back. I was just like,
Wait, we
oh,
can do
I was
this
like, oh. I was like, I was like, I can bring 100 cigars back, Cubans,
as long
they're
as you
like,
buy it
yeah,
from duty free. Yeah.
and I was just like,
I wish I would have known.
I was pissed,
Yeah.
but I'm just like, that's a
Especially
different story. Either way,
especially living in Phoenix, having Cubans.
yeah,
Oh boy.
yeah. After being told that you can't do something, then you go there and they give you like a pamphlet saying everything that you can
Yeah,
do, and I was
yeah,
just like,
yeah.
all right, well, this is embarrassing. But let's see, how prepared was I? I'd say about a 6.
Okay.
About a
It's kind
6.
of fun. It's kind of fun to not have everything ready anyways, you know. As
Yeah,
long as you don't
it's
as
like
long as you got the basics, as long as you got the things you need, you're good.
right. It's like it's just like any other place. And so the only thing that was different that I needed to make sure that I had was like the internet. I forget what they call it, but it's like the little outlets
Oh,
that you put into the wall, the
the
plugs.
plug changer thing. Yeah, yeah. How do I not
Yeah,
remember the
because
name?
their
The
plugs are
converter,
different.
the international converter.
Bingo. And so it was that I needed to make sure I had, and then of course you have to have your passport. Make sure that everything is up to date with that. But it was funny because like once I got there, everything was pretty much accommodating. It was like everything was essentially handled. The only thing is that when you wanted to bring something back, that's when you may have had to like there's a few more steps involved, like
But
making
once
sure it's bagged
again,
correctly.
you did
Yeah,
the top hunting safari in the world. So you're gonna have everything taken care of for you.
yeah.
So,
But the thing is that was only like for the first week.
but still, that was
So
your first
it
international trip ever. That's like the top. It's like when I saw your
yeah
Instagram, I said, "Well, hold up, he did that kind of safari." Oh man.
yeah.
Okay, so what was your biggest hesitation before going? Cost, safety, not knowing the language, or just in general, what if I hate it vibes?
Being on a plane for over 16
Did
hours.
you
That was my biggest
did you
hesitation.
go coach
That
or premium or what did you
no,
do?
I flew business class.
Okay, that's not bad.
And I had never done that. I had never done that before, so having a bed and
Yeah.
access to drinks and food for an
Oh,
entire flight
yeah.
was kind of
Noise
surreal.
canceling and
And
eye mask. Yeah.
yeah, you get face cleansers, and I'm like,
You got
okay,
a
I was like, this
menu. You
is
got a menu. You choose
you
your
got a
meal.
menu.
Yeah.
It's like you choose from this, and then they come and wake you up and like, hey, are you ready to eat? And
Did you
it's
have
like,
turn down? Did they make your bed for you, or was that just first? Because
um,
I
no, it was like we weren't on the plane that long. It's like to make the bed, it was already done. It's just get on and
no. I mean,
yeah.
like when I went to Sydney and I was in the air 14 hours, but I got flagship first, they call it. So it was like first class, business, premium, and then economy. And there's only 8 seats, but
Mhm.
they thought I was going to go to bed. I had gone to the bathroom and I came out and she'd laid my thing and rolled on one of those memory foam things and put a sheet on and made like a bed.
Okay, no,
No,
we didn't have that.
okay,
No,
but still,
but
business is amazing.
yeah, it was and so that made the trip better. But as far as things that made me like just hesitate before going, I think the biggest thing was it wasn't the cost because if you do it over time, you don't really think about it.
Yeah,
It's just a matter of trying to estimate how much you're going to spend while you're there.
yeah,
And when you see how much things cost
you get happy.
and how relatively cheap it is in
Yeah,
comparison,
you get happy.
you will spend a lot more because and not realize it because it's just like, oh,
Yeah, you're not
I
thinking
can just
about
buy
it.
this and not you're not thinking about it. And then other than that, I'd say the biggest thing was just dang, I gotta really fly like 6 hours this way and then 16 hours another way.
Mm.
That like that'll kind of
Mm-hmm.
scare you a little bit, especially if you've never done it before. That's a long time to be in the air.
But business makes it way better, like way
Yeah, it
better.
makes it a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anything
Yeah.
long.
I couldn't imagine.
Anything long,
I
I'm
couldn't
taking
imagine doing that
first.
flight
I'm
in
taking first
economy.
or business.
Yeah.
Anything long, yeah. So, but like if I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
like a 4 or 5 hour, I might. I got stuck on the last ticket from Sydney to Thailand. I got the very last ticket on Qantas, and I was in
Mm-hmm.
like I was in main cabin aisle seat with 4-inch reclining seats. So the dude reclines like, and I'm just like looking at his head. That was terrible. That was terrible.
Wow.
Okay, so we're going to
Wow.
go on to segment 2, which is called The Flight Heard Round
Mm-hmm.
the World. How did it feel being in the airport knowing your whole zip code has never seen you like this?
How did it feel that being in the airport and the whole world is the whole
Your whole zip code has just never seen you like this before.
I don't know.
It hadn't set in yet.
It really hadn't set in. It's just like, it just felt weird. I don't really know how to explain it.
Because you know you're getting on a flight, everything's going to change. Yeah.
Yeah, it just it's like my friend that was with me, she was like, "Yo, you look nervous." Like I've never like she was like, "I've never seen you like this." She was like the days like we were keeping in contact calling. She was like, "Dude, like I don't know what's going on with you, but you seem sporadic, you seem anxious, you just seem not you."
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was like leading up to it, I was yeah, I could have grown gray hair because I was just stressing.
But now
And then
you're like excited to go to places now.
yeah, for sure. For sure. It's like when the day came and when I finally got on the plane, I was like, okay, it's time. We're good to go now. So, yeah, you get over it after once you get on the plane, you're fine.
Okay.
And then once you get to the next airport and figure out where everything is at, it's like, okay, we're here.
Oh, that international airport was probably interesting for you because it's nothing like America.
Boy, let me tell you.
And everybody else knows what they're doing, and you're looking like, what is going on in here?
Look,
and it's huge.
So there's like 2 or 3 things that I was like at the international airports where I'm just like, why don't we have this in the States?
Exactly, right?
One is that they have like if your bag is damaged,
yeah,
in the States they'll just let it through depending on how damaged it is, or they'll just tell you just like go home and get another bag. But they have wrapping stations where they'll wrap your bag like in like plastic.
Well, it's also for security. It's just like it's also so people can't. You'll know if someone. Yeah,
exactly. I was just like, it's annoying to peel off all that plastic, but I'm just like, this makes sense.
Yeah, pretty smart.
And then a lot of the airport that I was at has a smoking lounge. So if you smoke cigars,
so you went through Europe. You went through Europe.
No, this was all Johannesburg and Cape Town.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Europe's got them all.
And so they still have smoking lounges like in the airport, and I was just like, why don't we bring this back? And then when you go eat, and then the only other thing is that this was just odd. I pray we don't ever get like this. It's just the load shedding, because the load shedding happened at the airport where it shut down everything for about 10 minutes and nobody could move. And so then
I'm sure you were like, what is happening? I'm ready to go home.
And then the other thing too is that you know how we have those carts at the airport that you can put all your luggage on and kind of just push it around so you don't have to but we have to pay for it here.
Yeah.
they have
Free.
people outside waiting on you just to do it for you. And I'm like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and
America
I'm just like, all
charges a
right,
lot for nothing. Yeah, a lot
well,
for nothing.
yeah,
So would you
we
say
charge for everything.
would you say you made some rookie mistakes on the flight? Like, did you take off your shoes, clap on landing, or did you try to open a wine bottle with your keys or something?
No,
None.
not at all.
You took your
No,
shoes
because I
off
was
in the lay
like,
flat. No.
yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Okay. But you didn't
Yeah,
go in the lab.
yeah.
You
I'm
put your
like,
shoes on when you went in the lab. Please say you did.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. Come on.
Okay. What?
Hey,
What?
it's like, I'm new, but God, please,
Hey,
like,
trust
I'm
me. I have seen people walk in the lab, and I'm looking at their feet, and I'm like, "You did not walk in there barefoot. Like that is crazy." Okay.
no,
So,
no.
what was your first thought when you actually landed in Africa?
Where the hell am
Did you watch the landing out the
I?
window?
No, because in business class, the light was like they had the windows, but there was like an ambient light that would kind of just like
Yeah.
it was like a mood light almost,
Yeah.
which was
It's
weird.
for
It's
your
like you couldn't
circadian.
even see
It's
outside.
for your circadian rhythm. It's what it's supposed to be for.
Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, and so I thought that was cool. So I didn't know like what time it was until I landed. I'm just like I look outside and it's a little cold, but it's just pitch black. And
Ooh.
so we had to when we got there, we had a guy waiting for us
Mm-hmm.
to get us in like this van.
Mm-hmm.
And my first reaction was like, okay, I'm sleepy, but I need to be awake right about now because it's dark. And I'm like, I'm not talking about just regular nighttime dark. It is dark. And
He said it was dark.
it's dark. It was dark. And so we get in I think from that point it's just I had to have like a sense of awareness because it's like everybody it's like once you land,
Mm.
if you're not from the country, you stick out like a sore thumb. Like it's weird just by
Believe
the
it
way
or
you
not,
walk or
believe it or
like
not, even though you're in
yeah,
Africa, an African American looks and acts
yeah,
completely different.
completely different.
Yep.
So it's like you're kind of on alert just to see, how people kind of react to you or see who kind of comes up to you. And so, um, and I think that's just I don't know if that's like in every other country where they kind of just like you stick out like a sore thumb, but I'd imagine so because as Americans we do things a little differently.
We're
We kind of walk with it
loud.
differently.
We're obnoxious.
It
Yeah, I know.
was a little obnoxious, but I think that was the main thing that was going through my head. Was like, hey, just keep kind of a low profile, get to where you need to go to, and then once we got into the what's it called? I think it's like a sprinter. That's what it felt like.
A what?
When we got into that and like a sprinter
Oh
van,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
van
yeah,
with the
yeah,
beds
yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Either way, and we had to drive like 5 or 6 hours to the next location.
Oh, after you got off the
Um,
airplane?
yeah,
Oh my
and so
goodness.
because the hunting lodge that we stayed at was 24,000 acres of land
Okay.
of just animals and like the huts and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so like once you get there, you're there. Like it's like you're not going anywhere
Yeah,
for like until the trip is over.
gotcha.
And so
This is a great interview, man. I love this one.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You're not going anywhere. It's 24. It's like, and then if you try to run, where are you about to run to?
And
So
what you gonna be running away from? You're not gonna outrun
ex-
it.
exactly, it's like they have everything to come and find you. And so we're driving there, and it's pitch black, like literally pitch black outside. Like all you can hear is animals outside. Like, and this is for 5 or 6 hours, and then you have. So we're driving on the right side of the street, and everybody's coming from the left. No,
You're driving on the left. They're coming on
I
the
don't
right.
know. Yeah, boom. Driving on the left. And it's pitch now mind you, it's pitch black. And so all you see is just cars zooming past you. It's like it felt like it was like no traffic signs or anything. It's just like little stuff like here and there. But no traffic lights, nothing. It's just pitch black and you just see cars zooming by. So I was just like, I'm frightened, I'm going to sleep. And so just wake me up when we get there.
It's more like
I
the
was like
animals are
I was like,
watching you. You felt like prey, like they're just
yeah.
watching you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's like
so
you had the locals driving. It was yeah, no.
so obviously you went to more places than just the hunting. So was there a culture shock moment that had you like, wait, people really live like this? And it was kind of fire.
Yes. So after spending the first week in Johannesburg and then going to the wedding, we stayed on a vineyard.
Yeah.
And then we went to Cape Town. Cape Town surprised me a lot because it reminded me a little of like a mix between Santa Monica and Phoenix in a weird way.
That's a weird mix. That's
Because
a weird mix.
I know that's probably a terrible like
probably
comparison,
probably more
but
like Laguna Beach and Phoenix.
okay,
Okay.
that's fair.
Okay.
Because it was like you're right there on the beach and everybody's having fun. I think it wasn't. You probably could surf, but it wasn't. I probably wouldn't have recommended it. But you had, it was a beach city, so the whole coastline had things to do.
Yeah.
Different vendors, different food trucks. You could go eat. Um, do everything that you typically would at a beach city. And then you had the tabletop mountain like right across the way where you can see it and it's beautiful. And everybody's nice, everybody's kind of hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to downtown Cape Town, and that's like completely different. It
Mm-hmm.
looks like any other developed city, and it's just like, you go to these different restaurants, and people kind of like once they kind of realize that you're not from there, they're like, okay, hey, this is where you want to not go.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
don't go here,
Yeah.
don't go
I was
here,
trying to tell
don't
you
go over
that.
here
I
trying to
was trying to
play.
tell that before you went there. I was
Yeah,
like, this could change in like one block.
yeah, it's like it can change. It's like, hey, don't go over here trying to play around,
Yeah.
doing stuff that just trying to be cool.
Yeah.
Stay in these particular areas if you want to have a good time. If you go to this area, they're gonna know that you're American, and it's gonna get real shaky for you. And so, and so after that, I was like, okay, this just feels like Phoenix for the downtown city part, or even I wouldn't say Chicago. No, I'll just say Phoenix. It felt more like Phoenix
Okay.
than that. And then any other beach city. And so it's it's kind of funny because you can see like where the wealth is located
Oh,
as far as you can have like these crazy ridiculous houses right there on the beach, and then you can have like nice
shanties.
condos, X, Y, and Z. Yeah,
Yeah.
shanties. And so when they told me how much some of these things cost, I was just like, oh, that much? And I was like, I need to move
Yeah, because it's
because
beautiful prices. Beautiful
I was like, I
prices.
need to move if it's this much.
Okay, so how
Mhm.
was the food, the vibe, the people? Did anything completely surprise you?
The food was amazing, and it's I hate to say it, but it's like, golly, it's like the rest of the world has it figured out when it comes to food.
Yes, they do.
Like it's like I don't it's like they have it figured out. Like
It is
where
whole and it's fresh and it's organic.
the food is fresh. I remember eating a chicken sandwich, and they were like something similar to a chicken sandwich. It's like, well, we just made the bread this morning or last night and had it ready for the day. The vegetables that you're eating, we picked from the garden. The chicken that you're eating, we killed that, hours ago, and it's on your plate. And I was just like, wait, what?
But it tastes
And then
amazing.
I was like, this is a great chicken sandwich. And um, then after hunting, they skinned the animal. Um, Prepared the meat, marinated it, and used every part of the animal. And then when the carcass was ready, they threw it back out into the wild for the rest of the animals to have it and all this kind of stuff. And so everything was fresh, even something as simple as beef jerky. Like our beef jerky is processed. They have their own version of it called biltong,
Okay.
and it's like the freshest. It's as if they just made a steak and just shaved it real thin and
Yeah.
just put it in the bag and gave it to you.
Even
And
my grocery store downstairs, Jangoli, they have a butcher come in every
mhm,
morning and bring and cut a cow and put it in the display. And I got there kind of early one day, and I didn't know that the people here love the organs, so I never see the organs. But I was there early, and I'm sitting there
mm,
just looking at it like, and the butcher lady, she's
okay,
laughing, and I was just like, I'm like, nah. And she's like, no, it's so good.
yeah,
That like red. And I'm looking at intestines and everything, and I was just like, nah, no,
mhm,
no, I'm not
yeah,
eating that. But then
no,
it's that
it
fresh.
was yeah. It's crazy because then like uh uh they don't really chef it up like we do. Like we try to put, the whole kitchen sink into the meal. And so
Yeah,
I mean, and it's just is only my first time experience with a different country. So this is what I'm saying. They
yeah,
call it a braai. And so that's our version of what we call a barbecue.
okay,
Except everybody brings different meats and stuff like that, and we cook it and we eat it and all share with amongst each other. And even in the restaurants, the food that we ate, I mean, you could pretty much get some of the same stuff that you would get in America there. It's just their version of it.
It's fresh.
But I tried to make sure, yeah, it's just fresh. I just tried to make sure that I ate things that are kind of, a part of their culture.
Sure.
And there was one particular dinner that we went to. It was like 16 courses, but it was like little
16
plates. What do they call it? Like, yeah, it was like the plates
saucers.
were like
Little
that small
saucers.
though. It was
Yeah.
like, yeah, they're little saucers, and it had like a nice little show and performance and stuff. But I got to taste ostrich.
Dang.
I don't know, kudu. I tasted a lot of
Some muscly meat.
strange stuff, and yeah, it was. But the thing is, it was all very very good. There was only like one dish where I was just like, this is questionable, and I don't want to taste this ever again. There was only one dish out of everything that I ate for the entire month that I was there.
Yeah.
But everything was good. Everything was good.
Here they love lamb here, and I love it. So how was the language, or how many times did you almost pull out Google Translate and just be like, forget it?
I didn't pull out Google Translate not one time.
So they spoke English well.
Because I would say they spoke it well. They spoke it well enough to understand what they were saying, and it seemed like they understood what you were saying.
Okay.
And so it's just their English, of course, just sounds different. But for the most part, if anything, you could just point to what you want, or kind of just like say, "Hey,
let me get
some
of
type
that."
of hand motion." Yeah. Let me just get that.
There's a French guy. There's a French guy here in
Um,
Albania hanging out with me, and he doesn't speak good English at all. But he's always doing things like, if I eat that, then whoop whoop. He's making all these sounds. But just a side note, everybody knows like the women are beautiful here, and he what I admire about him is he's not obsessed with women, right? So he was just doing his thing. But then when he started seeing them, he was so French. Even though he's a brother, he was so French. The words he used had me dead. He would be looking, he'd be like, "Ooh la la, magnifique." Wait, magnifique, like stuff like that. I was like, this is hilarious. Anyways, back to Africa. Let's see where I'm at next. So we're going to go on to segment 3, which is the glow up part 1. What did traveling unlock in you that you didn't know was there?
That I have to have a different appreciation for where I'm currently at, because America as a whole, we have our issues. Obviously, it's just like any other country. But when I look at it, I'm just like, dang, like
we got excess.
It could be a whole lot worse.
Yeah, we got excess.
It could be a whole lot worse. And the thing is that we live in a space of excess. Like everything that we could possibly want is fingertips away. And I left Africa with a different appreciation, saying, wow, like some of the things that I take for granted, or things that I don't care about, or the things that I figure is really inexpensive, it means not necessarily the world to them, but they hold it at a higher value
More
because
grateful,
they don't have
more
access
grateful.
to it.
Yeah, I mean, you remember
like,
before I left, I was doing that money brokering thing, and I was doing it huge. I had 4 cars, 3 of them were 6-figure. I was living in Arcadia, which is like the rich part inside of Scottsdale. I was at the cigar lounge every day. And then now I don't even have a car. I don't even want one because it's like a walkable city. And the first thing that started sinking into me was when I went to Porto with my little bro. You remember I had the big S-Class. I realized you could not fit that car up the street with the other cars. And I started saying, it doesn't even make sense. But in America, it's status, 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 right? But in these other countries, it doesn't even make sense.
It's weird because it was like, I was literally like staying there. I was like, golly, I was like, if I lived here, I wouldn't need a car.
Right.
Because for what? Like,
and the people act like that too.
Possibly want.
And the people, they don't think you're cooler because you have a car. Like, they do a little bit, but it's not like America,
Yeah. It's like, my thing is, it's like I would almost live like a minimalist lifestyle, because it's like I wouldn't have to have so much stuff around, because one, half the stuff that you really want, you can't get anyway. So it's like it'll
you don't miss
it'll force you to kind of have some.
You don't miss it. Like if you saw
you don't miss it.
You saw my place from there till now. I just live in a regular 1-bedroom, man, not that crazy townhouse with all the glass. I don't feel like I'm deprived at all. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It's just it almost makes it feel like it's bringing you back to like not even a humble level, but at like a peaceful and relaxed level,
more balance,
and like balance. It's like a balance. And then if you need to go anywhere, freaking Lyft and Uber is like $3,
Yeah.
and that's
It's
like
like a
that's to
40-minute
downtown.
ride.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, a 40-minute
I
ride. It was
was
like
in
$3 or $4. I
KL.
was just like,
I was in
yeah,
Kuala Lumpur, and I took what would in America been like a cheap ride, like a $7 ride. And I looked on my
mm-hmm.
after it charged, and it told me how much. It was 49 cents. I was like, what?
Yeah,
What? That
yeah.
driver actually wanted that ride? Like, that was crazy.
I was,
Okay, so what was okay? Did anything about you change when you got back home after traveling?
it made me want to work harder to go back.
Okay.
Like it's a different
Yeah.
mindset. It was like, okay,
It's
like
fulfilling
you know,
too.
we yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you work to kind of maintain the things around you, but it's like now it's shifted something to get me to work harder to have those type of experiences again. You know what I mean? Definitely a better appreciation for people and generosity. Like,
They're so generous
um,
internationally, aren't they?
it's so generous. It's like and generous and accommodating. It's like whatever you can think of that you need.
Mhm.
If you tell it to them, they're like, "Let's see if I can get it. Let's see if I
Yes.
can find it."
Yes.
Oh, I wasn't able to get this, but I was able to get this. Is this okay? Um, saying thank you because a lot of people don't say thank you.
In the States.
I remember we went to I remember we went to lunch or dinner one time, and we were eating, and you had paid for the dinner, and I don't know what was over me. I think I had something to do. I didn't just think about it, but I typically say thank you to everything,
Mhm.
and then you text me, he's like, you didn't even say thank you for the meal. And I was just like, wait, what?
Oh, me?
I don't know if you remember that. Yeah,
Oh,
he was like,
I'm
he's
such a
like, you didn't even say
manners
thank you
guy.
for the meal, and I was just like, wait, what? I didn't. And so I never forgot. I literally never forgot that. I was just like, dog, like I'm asking myself,
I
what you
am
on? Like
that guy. I definitely am that guy. If someone doesn't
it,
have manners, I'm like, hey.
you yeah, you weren't grateful, but I was just like, it's like, but
I
I was like,
texted
I
you.
didn't say
I'm
thank
dead.
you, and
I'm
so
dead that I texted you. I
yeah,
was
it's like you didn't even say it was like you didn't even say thank you, and so it was just like just coming back from there just made me realize like, dang, I need to have it. It humbled me a lot because
yeah.
it's just like, wow, you
Yeah.
have access to a lot more stuff
Yeah.
and you take it for granted more so than they would have. Like
Yes.
something as simple as cigars.
Yeah.
Cigars are
Definitely.
what
50 a day,
we
30 a
spend what
day.
at least 10
Like the cheap ones,
bingo.
$10. Yeah.
You exactly. If buying a cigar there, they're looking at you like, wait, what?
Like you're
Like you
rich.
have money for that's expensive. And I'm like, that's not expensive. It's like a normal thing.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's just a different appreciation and um it definitely humbles you where it's just like, okay, hey, yeah, although that you have access to all of this,
Mm-hmm.
it's like you don't have the appreciation necessary
Have it. You should be more.
to to have it. You know what I mean?
Okay, so
Yeah,
how do you think travel can change a person's perspective, especially when they've been locked into one lifestyle?
perfect. That's a great question because I thought about this when I got back. The main thing that is gonna I guess change as far as your perspective is that the rest of the world doesn't revolve around you.
We sure do think that. We
Like
sure
coming from the
think it does
States,
in America. We sure think it does.
yeah. What? And
I already know. I
it's
was
like
cussing out the poor lady over a sandwich over here, and I realized I'm like, man, I'm spoiled.
yeah, I was like, it's like when coming from America, you think the rest of the world kind of revolves around America. It's like, no, we're the best country in the world. You know, we have it all. Y'all revolve around us. The rest of the world's like, we couldn't care less.
Yeah, I know. Only if
We
it
couldn't
comes
care
to
less.
they just don't want to send in the military over, and they want our money. The rest
Yeah,
of it, they don't
that's
care.
it.
Yeah.
Hey, that's it. Everything else is like, oh, you know, no, we have our own stuff over here. Boom. So it kind of opens your mind up to seeing like more. It's just like, okay, it pops your bubble. It literally pops your bubble. It's like, oh, we're
I'm
not
not
the center of
all
the
that.
world over
I'm
here.
not
It's
all
just
that. Like you standing
I'm
there
not all
thinking
that. It's just like
everybody's
this is
like gonna look at you and care, and they're
yeah,
not. They drink, talking to their friend. They don't even
yeah,
see you there. But it's kind of refreshing though.
exactly.
It's actually kind of refreshing. This is
Yeah, it is.
first time I told my
It
friends, I was
is.
like, some people don't even pay attention to me. I'm invisible here, and I actually kind of like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, for
so
sure.
so what what's your ideal travel setup now? I know you've only gone on one trip, but I know, like, do you like city, nature, luxury, or local food, museums? What do you like?
I like personally, I don't even know now because it's just
Too
like,
much to see.
yeah, I've never been a country person. Like outdoorsy stuff, I'm just like, oh,
But that nature
I hate outdoorsy
but it
stuff.
was dope. That safari, yeah.
But yeah, and then I'm not really a city person because I hate crowded places. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
used to like just staying at home and kind of just finding something to do and watch.
Yeah.
But my perfect setup is that okay? I would say spend 3 weeks at most in a place. Unless you just plan on living there, then that's a different story. But
Mm.
if you're gonna go somewhere, spend 3 weeks. Anything over 3 weeks begins to be a little too much.
Depends
The
on where
first
you're
week you want to
going.
get acclimated.
I know you've
Yeah,
learned a
depends on where
lot,
you
but
are.
like if you were in somewhere like
Yeah.
Barcelona, that's not enough time. You know what I'm saying? It's not enough
Okay.
time. There's too much to
Okay.
see.
But
I would
but
literally go to the gym
yeah.
in Barcelona and I wouldn't come back for like 5
Mm-hmm.
hours because just walking home, I'd be like, "Ooh, what's that?" And I would always end up in the Gothic Quarter, and then I would look at my
Mm-hmm.
tracker and I was 5 miles away from my house. I had to call an Uber to go home.
Wow.
It was that beautiful. You're just
Huh.
everywhere there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just like for me, it's like once you're in a place, and it's only my first time experience, so I'm sure it's going to change. But it was just, once you're in a place that's not necessarily yours, or it's not necessarily your home, you not necessarily get homesick. It's just like you just want to get back to your regular routine,
Yeah.
and so that's why
I got some stuff to
I
share
say
with
three
you.
weeks max.
I got some. Like, if I take you
Yeah,
on an Inspirato
yeah.
trip, so I have Inspirato membership where there's like these $6, $7, $8 million houses in there. You don't even want to leave the
Mm-hmm.
house. It is so those houses are so nice. And like the one in the DR at Casa de
Mm-hmm.
Campo, it comes with skeet shooting, comes with polo. There's a
Mm-hmm.
chopper that lands next to the
Mm-hmm.
polo. Like there's a lot for you to see. There's a lot for you to see still.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
So
what?
I think,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
well, no, I think for me, like first week, do something, get acclimated, or first we kind of get acclimated, but
Rest.
still go
Yeah.
do stuff. So I think get out in nature, rest, but do something that's not really taxing on the body.
And make sure you got
Um,
food and water
like my
because you're on different sleep schedule.
bingo,
Waking up
bingo.
at night and you can't get food, that's
Go out and do
terrible.
something. Yeah, go out and do something nature centered, and then the second week go out into the city, check it out, check out the nightlife.
Yeah,
Third city is where you want to hit those spots that you didn't necessarily get a chance to,
sure.
and then that's when you kind of just winding down before you leave. And then go home. You know what I mean?
And make sure you
Yeah.
use airport lounges. And of course, use airport lounges. Okay,
Yes.
okay, so
Yes. Make sure. Yeah.
what does travel mean to you now that you've done?
What does travel mean to me now? It definitely means it's I'm a painter, so
Mm-hmm.
it's like this is kind of like the idea I think of it. It's seeing the entire picture.
Mm,
That's what travel means to me now. It's
yeah,
like I don't even want to travel domestic anymore because it's just like you
yeah.
know what I mean. It's like there's so much out there that I haven't seen or experienced. It's like the waters are literally your oyster now. It's like okay,
Mm,
now I can go and see these other places
the
and
whole
experience these other
picture.
people and things. The whole picture. So instead of looking this close at a picture, like looking this close at it and seeing only what you can see,
Yeah.
taking a step back and being like, wow, I have all of this to go
Yep.
see. And I'm like, geez, I'm like, how much time do
I
I have?
love
I'm like,
seeing this in
I need
you.
to
I
cram as
love
much of
this
this.
because
Yeah,
you
it's
were
like
so not trying to
that's
have it. You were like, no, T, I don't even care. Blah blah blah. Now I was like, once he goes, we gonna have him. We gonna have him. And now you're like,
yeah,
I'm about it.
yeah,
Okay, so let's
yeah.
go into the bonus round. I call it jet lag quick fire. Okay, so would
Mm-hmm.
you do window or aisle?
Window,
Okay, check bag or carry on only.
window. Easy. Carry on only.
Airport drink of choice.
Extra dirty martini or espresso martini.
Okay, first place you're going if someone buys your next ticket. You looking at the map.
Mm,
He's like, let me look at
Colombia. No,
No, don't go there. Everybody wants to go to Colombia.
Colombia.
Okay. Is that it or are you just
You know
playing
what?
with
Take that
me?
back. Take that back. Take that back.
Okay.
No, no, that really was gonna be it, but I'll say Seoul, South Korea.
Okay. That's an interesting place. They are so clean there. Even the toilets, they have
Hmm.
sanitizer on the toilets. They ask you to wipe and clean it after you use it in the public restroom. And then they have a spray mister. It's wild. It's wild. Okay. One thing you wish you packed.
Less clothes.
Yes, I try to tell everybody. They always like, "Oh, I need all this." I'm like, "You're not gonna use it."
No, you don't.
And you're
No, you
dragging it
don't.
around with
You'll
you.
probably
It's terrible.
yes. I looked like when I went, I had one suitcase for shoes, one for clothes. I was just like, you could have did this with one suitcase and been just fine.
And one pair of shoes.
Like,
yeah.
One you could have brought one or two pair of shoes and you would have been just fine.
Okay, one thing
Like,
you definitely
I was annoyed with myself.
One thing you definitely didn't need to pack, but you packed.
All of the shoes and clothes.
Yeah,
Like,
and then in
like,
places like Africa with nice shoes, you don't want to be wearing those nice sneakers out there, you know?
Hello. And then, it's like it's like you thinking that you're gonna buy, like, I went on Amazon trying to buy like African type outfits.
I remember.
And I'm just like, I get there.
I remember that.
I get there and I'm like,
I'm the only one dressed African.
they don't even wear this. Like, what is, like, and I'm just like, oh my God. And I'm just like, all right, this is, I felt stupid. I'm just like,
looking like a tourist.
all right, that and yeah, I definitely look like a tourist now. So I think the main thing that I wouldn't pack is just like, I wouldn't go overboard on shopping online trying to find stuff for the place.
Yeah.
Just go there
and
go. Find something and just go. You'll find clothes there. They have plenty
and they
malls.
take you as you are too.
Exactly. And then things that I probably wouldn't bring, I guess, again, not as many electronics. Make sure you bring the main two things that you need, your phone and your computer.
Yeah.
And make sure you have the outlets and stuff. But other than that,
yeah, keep it
just
light.
go experience the place and just be there.
Plus, they make you pull all that
keep
crap out of your bags anyway, so it's such a headache. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, best moment of the trip that you didn't see coming.
Best moment was the very last day of the hunting part of the trip, because for a solid 2-3 days we didn't get anything, and then like within like 2 hours left of the safari hunt part, we finally see what we were looking for and got it. One shot, it dropped, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I think that was like the most unexpected. That was like the most thrilling part for me. I was just like, this is crazy.
Okay, if your younger self could hear you right now, what would you tell him about this trip?
Do it sooner. Like, stop waiting. Do it sooner, because you get to an age where it's like, oh, you get to an age where you don't really want to do much, and you kind of get stuck in your ways, and you're very stubborn about a lot of stuff. So if I'm talking to my younger self, hey, do it as soon as possible. Figure out
when Thomas calls, go.
Yeah, go. Figure out something. Do a study abroad program. Do something to just get out there and experience life and get a different perspective of the world. You like, do it as soon as possible. Don't sit and wait. Don't let fear, hinder you from, a once in a lifetime experience. And so, that's what I would say.
Okay, and then the last question: where's the next destination now that you've caught the travel bug, and will you be packing less this time?
The next destination that I know of right now, I'm going back to South Africa in November.
Okay.
I'm gonna probably do somewhat of the same few things, but there's a few other things that I want to see, and maybe even drive up to different countries that's close, that's neighboring to it. But if not there, still want to be on the African continent, so maybe Ghana or Nigeria, because my granddad has been several times and he's like, you need to go check that out. And so definitely one of those places. I know I want to visit Egypt and Morocco at some point, just to check those out. Just to check those out. But
popping.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, everybody, I would like you guys to look up Phalen. Is there anything? Is there socials or IG or anything, or maybe your artwork that you would like for people to go and check out?
Sure. On Facebook, if you have Facebook, just type in my name, Phalen Booker, Phalen Booker, Booker.
Okay.
On Instagram, it's simply just Phalen.b, Phalen.b, and you'll find me. That's where I am. And so, if you have questions or concerns, feel free to reach out and
can they find your artwork on there?
Yeah, for sure.
Some of your artwork's on the wall right behind you, right?
Yeah, it's kind of kind of braggadocious, I guess, or egotistical to have one just hanging over my office. So, but
Well, I mean, I 100% appreciate having you on. I wanted to do this interview because I was like, I know there's a lot of people stuck in that little thing. So, like,
mhm,
what's one more thing you would say to them on all those people that you know they've been wanting to go to travel? What do you think that
mhm.
is? Because you're so close to when you wouldn't travel to now. What's that one thing you would say to them that's like, do it? Like, how would you get there for them?
You only live once, so you might as well go try to live as much of it as you can. You know what I mean? Pull the trigger on it. Don't be afraid of it. Once you get through the hurdle of, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. Once you get there, things kind of just take care of themselves.
Mm,
Um, and you learn along the way. It's just like learning a new skill.
mm,
Um, you're not going to be great at it the first time. The second time, you're
mm,
not going to be great at it, but you'll be better than the first time, and so forth and so on. And by the 10th time, you'll just be looking around like, oh, this is not as bad as this, what I thought it was. And so,
mm.
get that under your belt, and once you do it, it's like you'll be pretty much obsessed with trying to get out of the country and go travel and do different things. Yeah.
I knew you were good. I knew that was going to happen to you. The way
Yeah.
that I did it, because people are always like, why were you always so cool to just get out there? I was always like, I want to look back and be like, damn, I did that.
Hmm.
I don't want to look back and be like, I really wish that I would have went to Morocco. I don't want to do that because
Yeah.
I have never regretted a trip, even a trip that was tough, was hard
Hmm.
on me. I've never regretted it. Never.
Yeah.
But
For sure.
okay, we're signing off. Once again, Phalen Booker. I'm Mr. Brown, the host. Jetlagandchill.org. Go sign up for free. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a great day.